On YouTube, it's your boy Brawler John with a new video for our YouTube channel. On today's video, we're going to be doing something very important for the Pokemon Unite community. As you guys all know, the biggest problem with Pokemon Unite is the players. And as such, we're going to take a look at what Pokemons that we think are grief teammate choices, as well as what Pokemon we think are actually really helpful in a solo queue environment. On today's video, we have Matrix Sean as a special guest to help me stay objective in this video. So everybody can say hi to Matrix Sean.
What up, everybody? I might not be objective myself, so we'll see how that works.
Yeah, there we go. If you guys want to, you can follow Matrix Sean over on twitch.tv/Matrix Sean. You can follow myself over on twitch.tv/Brawler John. I am a VGC player and a Pokemon Unite streamer. So yeah, let's just kind of get straight into the video. I believe you guys get the premise. Let's go over our tiers before we get into the Pokemon themselves, right? So our top tier is They Will Carry. This means you load up a game of solo queue, you're ready to play, your teammate makes a choice, and you're like, yes, that is based. They will carry. Next up, we have Possible Carry. This is somebody where it's like, you know what, that's a pretty good mon, but they have to be skillful in order for it to work, right? Next up is They Won't Throw. This is a little more neutral. It's somebody that you're like, you know what, they're not going to throw, but they're not going to win the game. Next up after that, we have Coin Flip. This is usually for like highly skillful Pokemon. You either suck at it or you're good at it, one or the other. Next up, we have where most of the Pokemon will be, which is My God, Why? Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. After that, we have Intentional Throwing. There are people in this world who think they're playing, they're just throwing. And last on our list, the most egregious tier is I watched the anime and I'm 12 years old. We all know the player, chat. We all know the player.
Special attack spec Cinder is good, bro. What are you talking about? Fire moves.
Alrighty. Alright, let's go, chat. Sean, I got Sean here. We're going to start up. We're just going to go through the list as they have it. Number one, we're going to go with Cinder. Sean, I'll let you talk first, and then I'll give my thoughts, and then we'll pick a tier. So, Sean, what do you think of Cinderace?
So, I want to put him in They Will Carry, right? But unfortunately, people put this man in lane. And also, you have 5 teammates and 7 of them call jungle. So I'm going to put him into probably either Possible Carry or They Won't Throw. Unless they're lanes. It's actually hard. It's hard with a solo queue teammate. You know what I mean? He's like in that range.
Yeah, so we're pretty far apart on this one. I want to put this and I watched the anime and I'm 12. Because in my mind, Cinderace and Greninja are the solo queue mons of death. I actually, spoiler alert, think they are the 2 worst solo queue mons maybe ever. Because we're talking strictly solo queue, you know, not in like a environment where they can actually rotate and gank and things of that nature. You have to consider with solo queue, you're going to get stuck in lane quite often. So I'm down to maybe meet in the middle. We could put it in Intentional Throwing. That's just my opinion. What do you think?
That's not the middle, but I'm kind of with it. Because in my head, I'm thinking of, like, you, me, like, you know, Lutano, like, actual good players when they put the scarf on and they take him lane or jungle and crush. But you're right, Greninja and Cinder, they put on attack weight, they run right into the enemy's goal zone, and they die. They int. Yeah. So, yeah, you're probably right. I might want to bump him up to My God, Why? Because they might be trying.
You bring up a good point. Scarf is a new item, so I think because Scarf exists, we could go into My God, Why?
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay. Alright, cool. So next up is Garchomp. I'll start with this one. We'll alternate back and forth. I think Garchomp is probably going to be in My God, Why as well. I think it has some very good upside on like really skillful players, but it's one of those things where like if you're a skillful player, you could just play something else. This thing has pretty bad mobility. Yes, it rips objectives, but only if no one else is at the objective. It's kind of tough in my opinion. I don't like seeing Garchomp on my team. What say you?
I'm gonna put him right into Intentional Throwing, and kind of following your logic for Cinder, right? Because the only time I've seen him actively test in like in a real capacity is when people are trying him out for draft format, and they're really skillful players in a trio stack or better. In solo queue, you're taking a melee mon with four randoms. You don't know if you're gonna have frontline. You're not gonna get peel.
Hmm.
You're not gonna pick anybody. Like he's just an intentional throw. I love the character. He's a lot of fun, but like solo queue, bro, you're just asking for it. You're just asking to get caught out every 5 seconds, die in the zap pit, flipping
Okay.
Rayquaza while your team 4v5s and they lose. Like it's just an int in my opinion.
Sure, yeah, no, I can meet you there. We can put Garchomp in intentional throwing.
Poor
So
buddy.
now,
I love you,
next up
Garchomp.
on the list is Gengar. Sean, will let you start on this one. My opinion might surprise you, but let's hear
Okay.
yours.
So my opinion is somewhere between coin flip and they won't throw. At this point, I think the only people that have picked Gengar now have 600 hours on him, and either they go into the jungle
Right.
and destroy your, opposing 5 stack of I don't know what I'm doing, or you get the unfortunate one who is I watch the anime and I'm 12. So it depends on which player picks them.
Okay. All
This is
right.
kind of why I'm putting them in the middle of coin flip.
So we're pretty close. I actually want to put Gengar in possible carry. Because Gengar is one of those. Because remember, this is solo queue. He's one of those mons
Right.
where if you have a good Gengar on your team in solo queue, he's
Oh,
getting
you rip.
pentas. He's
Oh yeah, you
picking
rip.
people
Absolutely.
off. He can very possibly carry a solo queue game. A
But
good
if you don't,
Gengar.
but if you don't, he's a liability.
Yeah, yeah, and it's
And
kind of
I can see possible carry.
yeah, like cause I don't know, I feel good when I see a Gengar because oftentimes Gengar picks on some of the people who are gonna be on our lower tier. Like Gengar bullies Cinder in solo queue. He bullies
100%.
Ninja in solo queue. Like he kind of bullies any support Pokemon if they're alone. Um, I think it's
Yeah.
possible carry. I guess I'd settle for they won't throw, but I do think possible carry. What say you?
I could see possible carry, honestly, because he could pop off, and then even if he doesn't, he'll probably get a pick or two at the very least. He doesn't dummy thick damage, so I'll put him in passable carry. I'll meet you there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. So next up is Cramorant. I'm gonna start here. I think Cramorant's probably gonna go into coin flip for me, because if someone is playing Cram in solo queue, that makes me think they have a lot of games on Cram. It's not the most popular Pokemon, and if somebody has a good amount of games and some good technical skill, the Mon can actually be really solid in a solo queue environment. You can run the CC set with Air Slash and I mean not Air Slash. You could run the CC set with Hurricane and be really, really good, or you could run the mobility set. You could be annoying. You could invade the opponent's jungle with Dive. I think it's very coin flippy. I think you're either going to get a good Cramorant that contributes, or somebody who just clicked it because they wanted to try it, or something like that. That's my opinion. I say coin flip. How about you?
Honestly, I agree with that because he's like Gengar without the damage. So like,
Right.
he doesn't have like even a bad Gengar will just accidentally a kill. I don't think Cram accidentally is a kill. He
Right.
accidentally is a wrong position and dies. So you have to get the good one. I'm definitely down with coin flip.
Okay, yeah. I think another thing that's in Cram's favor is his early game is so solid where like even if you're not great at laning, his spells at level 4 are just so strong in lane
Yeah,
that he can
yeah,
help out somebody else who's carrying.
I agree with that.
Alright, so next up we have Alolan Ninetales. Sean, we'll let you grab the start for this one.
All right, so Ninetales with the new items is an absolute powerhouse mon. That being said, only super skillful players, or well, maybe not super skillful, but like really good players are going to be able to actively carry a game with them. They're going to need at least one other player to support them, right? Because Ninetales is a little bit squishy. You get caught out, you're still dead. When you freeze the enemy team a million times, it's great when you have somebody to help you pick up the like last little bit of damage. But if you don't, you kind of you're back on flippy floppy. So I'm torn between possible carry and they won't throw because it's a solid mon that I feel like unless you're really good with the character can't actually carry. It's more like a support attacker if that makes sense. So I'm kind of leaning to they won't throw.
I'm actually with you here. I think 100%. I'm a no Ninetales lover, especially this season. If you guys watch my stream, you know that I love to spam the Ninetales games. So I'm a believer in the Mon, but right now we're talking about solo queue teammates. And when I see a Ninetales, literally I think to myself, all right, well, they're not going to ruin the game. They're going to contribute. At the very most, if they just press a little bit in the Rayquaza pit, they're going to freeze somebody. I feel like it's near impossible to throw with Ninetales, so I think it's perfect in the they won't throw category. So I agree with you there. I think that's what we should do.
Nice. Okay.
All right, cool. Yeah, Ninetales is solid. Very cool, Mon. Next up on our list is Wigglytuff. I'm actually going to put Wigglytuff in the same category, in my opinion. I think Wigglytuff is a they won't throw. You guys might feel this way. I know I feel this way as a solo queue player. When I load up solo queue and I see a defender or a supporter, I kind of think to myself, oh, thank God. You know, like, they may not carry me, but, like, I don't feel as though they're gonna ruin my game. Some supports maybe, but not all. In the case of Wiggly, I think the ult is just very strong, especially if they stay with the team. They can run Sing, it's very good. They could run rollout, and that could make it a little coin flippy because I think solo queue rollout players, all they do is hide in a bush and they try to get the wall tech on people, and it's really annoying. It's like, brother, rollout does more than just bounce off walls. Like, use it for mobility, go score, use it for a stun. So rollout players kind of irk me, but I still think I want to edge it to they won't throw, but I'll accept coin flip. But I think it's they won't throw. What say you?
No, I'm definitely under they won't throw category because even rollout Wiggly, like, just them accidentally coveting people is enough in like a team fight. Like,
Yeah.
even the worst Wigglies, like, unless they're backcapping, which I've never seen a Wiggly do really on the team fight, like, they'll contribute in some type of way. I'm with you. I hate rollout in solo queue. Like, in coordinated teams, it's one thing, but solo queue is travesty. Sing is so good. I will tell you, when I see a Wiggly on the other team, I'm a little afraid for my life.
That's fair.
Going to see me into next week.
Yeah,
so, like, I'm
Q charm is
just
rough.
the mental, the mental of Q charm and possible Sing on your opponents. It's an automatic they won't throw. They're not going to carry, but they're definitely not going to throw.
Okay, all right. I'm in agreement. We'll put Wiggly and they won't throw. Next up we have Machamp. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, I think it's your turn to go first, right? You go first. You go first.
So, I don't know how I feel about this Mon currently, because in my experience, every time I've seen him played, I'm like, yeah, that was good, but insert all-rounder here is better. Almost every time. Like, he could do some really nasty things
Yeah.
in solo queue, though, kind of like a Gengar effect, where he ults 5 people because they don't know how to walk to the left or right, and they're like, wow, my champ is broken. But the new submission tech is kind of good, so I'm kind of like, I don't want to put him in coin flip, because I don't think I've really seen any Machamps that terrible recently.
Right.
But I don't think they're a carry, so I'm kind of torn between coin flip and they won't throw, just because, like, there's better options to pick. So why are you picking Machamp, kind of? But also, he's not awful. He's pretty solid. I'm kind of in between. What do you think?
So I was aiming a little bit higher with Machamp. I'm looking at possible carry. I even considered they will carry. I feel like if anyone's playing Machamp right now, it's because they got a lot of games on it. Like, he's not the popular all-arounder in town. And Machamp ult in solo queue is just disgusting. Like legit triple kills almost for free with Machamp ult. It's like super gross. But there are, people who int in lane for stacks and ruin the game. So I am leaning possible carry. I don't know if you want to meet me that high, but that's what I think. Just based on that ult in Rayquaza, it's nuts.
Yeah, I can meet you in possible carry, because solo queue people be doing some suspect things, and you be getting away with 5-man ults that just kill people. I can meet you there. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, next
the forearms help them climb up, you know?
Yeah. Because, like, I've seen Machamps win games, like, just straight up Penta,
100%.
and I'm like, oh my god, that's crazy. All right, so next up on our list is Absol. I'm gonna put it in my god why, personally. I just, like, there was a point in time where he was broken, he got nerfed a little bit, he's still pretty strong, like, a really good Absol player can play it well, but the honest to god truth is a really good Absol player just doesn't play it in solo queue. I don't think they exist. I've never had a good solo queue Absol that just did things, especially not this season. Maybe like 2 seasons ago, maybe. Even then, when I see an Absol on my team, I kind of think, my god, why?
I think that's a pretty fair take, honestly. So, in my experience, I played a game yesterday. I had an opposing Absol. He must have been running Drain Crown or something, but he was like X amount of levels ahead, because, my team did the solo queue thing and didn't fed this thing. Right. He hit me with like a pursuit or something, and he was at a quarter of his health. He full healed. I was like, bro, what? So I have seen a couple good ones, but I'm torn between coin flip and my God, why? I think in my personal opinion, when I see one on my team, I immediately go, my God, why? So I gotta put him there, even though I know that there's a couple of people that do be schmooving with him. It's
Right.
definitely a my God, why kind of angle. Any kind of CC and like competent opposing teammates are gonna eat him, I feel like.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's throw that into My God Why then. We could put him above Cinder in My God Why if that matters. Because I think a solo
Yeah,
queue
yeah, yeah.
Absol is maybe a little bit better than Cinder can be, depending on, the player, of course. But it's just the feeling I get when I see it. I'm just like, oh,
So
no.
I will preface it with saying when they pick Absol and there's nobody else trying to go for jungle, I'm more of a, oh, this is a coin flip. But when three people call jungle and then Absol's like, no, me with 5 seconds left, that's the ultimate my God why. So that's his tier.
Exactly. Also, really quick aside, I know this is going on YouTube, but I just want to say hi to some of the people who showed up in our chat. We are live here on Twitch doing the recording. Follow us on twitch.tv/BrawlerJohn and twitch.tv/MatrixSean. I just want to say hi to Bundudu, Khan is in the chat. Just a lot of our regulars showing up, showing love. I appreciate you guys in chat. I'm reading all of your messages. I'm not just responding so much because of the recording, but I appreciate you guys in chat. You're the best. All right, so next up on our list is Slowbro. Sean will start us off on Slowbro, and we'll take it from there.
So Slowbro is low key the actual Arceus of Pokemon Unite. But really good
True.
mod, and literally you cannot carry with him. It's not possible. He doesn't do enough. You can make some absolutely game-winning plays though, and he's a monster defender supporter. So like I want to put him in carry in the way that like he'll get your team the W if he acts correctly, but like
Right.
he's not gonna 1v5 in pit, so I think it's a they won't throw. He's a really, really solid defender.
Yeah, I'm pretty right there with you. If I see a Slowbro on my team, I'm usually pretty happy because solo queue defender choices are so few and far in between. His ult is just massive, right? Like even if Slowbro walks into Rayquaza pit under leveled, right? Like level 10, level 11, let's say, as long as he ults someone good, man, it could just win
Yeah.
you the game. But at the same
Telekinesis into
time,
ult, like
yeah. At the same time, it can't really be a carry. Like, I guess possible carry would have to be something like you're fighting a Charizard ults, and Slowbro counters with his ult. Like, that'll carry a
yeah.
game. But that doesn't always happen, and some Slowbros just walk around. And really, what hurts Slowbro, in my opinion, is Scald. People play Scald, and
Yes.
I just don't get it. Truly, like I know it got those buffs. I know it debuffs the opponent, but Surf just lifts the opponent off the ground. It's actual CC. Like we're talking
Right, yeah.
solo queue and setting up your teammates. But in general, I think I agree with you. I think I want to go with They Won't Throw. I think it's a very, very solid Pokemon. And it probably doesn't belong in coin flip because more often than not, I want to see it on my team.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. And I will say for like teams, I could see Scald, right? Because you're setting it up and then your Gardevoir picks him off. But in solo queue, you're better off with telekinesis because you can peel someone who's about to die
Right.
just by grabbing like that Charizard or whatever it is. So yeah, I definitely agree.
Okay. All right, so next up on our list, we have Mr. Mime, a very similar situation. With Mr. Mime, I'm actually considering possible carry. He has a lot of the same qualities as Slowbro and Wiggly, where he's tanky, he has some CC, he has really good sustain. What makes the difference with him and possible carry is as a solo queue player, especially if you put on Amp, you can ult so many times throughout a match. And his ult is so powerful. It just stops the opponents from moving. And yes, they've nerfed a lot of Mime spells, but they haven't nerfed that ult. And sometimes that ult is just enough to carry a fight, and you do it like 4 times per game, let's say on average. So for me, with confusion, with stacking, with having a high skill cap, with power swap being really really good if you just follow around your carry, it could almost be like a borderline Blissey if you want to play in that style. I think Mr. Mime is possible carry for me. What say you?
So I 100% agree with possible carry, and the reason why I'm willing to put him there, even as a supporter, is because unlike every other supporter for the most part in this game, Mime can like initiate a fight, right? So like in early game when you're trying to gank a pad, if you're something like a Wigglytuff, you're like kind of hinting at your lane partner, like, "Hey, come on, bro, we can kill these people."
Right.
Mime, you don't have to do that. Mime, you just jump on their pad, throw up a wall, slam the dude into it, and then your partner kind of gets it, like, "Oh, he pretty much killed that guy. I'm
Right.
gonna go finish it off." You know what I mean? Like. And then, like you said, the ult and pit too. Oh, you guys flipping Rayquaza? Damn, sure would be a shame if I mime ulted you and you just watch me secure it myself. Like,
Right,
so
right, right.
definitely a possible carry. Not a definite carry because sometimes people be doing some sus things, but
Right.
100% possible carry.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Runs a
sometimes because
monster.
he'll never jungle, so sometimes if he's stuck with a bad lane partner, he could be under leveled, and that's why it's
Right?
possible.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
But yeah,
I think we're
no,
on the money here. I think we're correct.
yeah, 100%. They cannot nerf this character enough. He's just a monster.
All right. So next up on the list is Venusaur. Sean, what are your thoughts?
So I love Venusaur. He's one of the better characters in the game. So there's these moves that you guys should know, right? It's called Pedal Dance and Giga Drain. He actually doesn't have any other abilities, so please stop clicking those. But because people keep clicking those,
Yeah.
even though Mew is in the game, I have to put him in coin flip.
Yep.
Because I even had somebody on the opposing team, right? My team giga crapped on our enemies. We were in Rayquaza flipping, and I'm like, they're gonna let this Bimu secure with Solar Beam, and he did. So then we killed him and scored and won anyway. Please stop picking Solar Beam. You stop it. So coin flip. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think Venusaur is the ultimate coin flip, man. Because like when you get a good Giga Drain Venu and he's just in pit sucking on everybody, just sucking them up hard, it's so good. Like it feels so good when a fat level 14 Venu just starts sucking on him. Like you're
I
gonna
have an
win.
emblem page
He just
dedicated.
he just
to
can't
Giga Suck
lose.
Venu.
He's so
Yeah,
good.
like, I
But when
made
you're
his
in
own
lane,
emblems.
when you are in lane and you see your Ivysaur evolve, and that dude throws out a sludge bomb, oh, there's no pain quite like that pain. Like that's
Yeah.
just pain.
As soon as you see him hit level 5 and you're like, yeah, he's about to Giga Drain, and then the Sludge Bomb comes out, you're like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, yeah, that's 100. That's the top of coin flip right there. That goes
That
goes
is
in
the
front of
coin
Cran.
flippiest Pokemon.
Yeah, that's an omega coin flip right there. All you Solar Beam gamers out there, I really need you guys to just retire and play something else. Just my
Wait for
humble
the buffs,
opinion.
please.
Please.
Or if you want to play Solar Beam, just learn how to be good with Mew. I know it's hard, but please.
All right, so next up is Lucario. Now, this one's going to be interesting, right?
Yeah.
Lucario might be and has been since day one of Pokemon Unite, since day one, the most high skill cap character in the game. His tool set is absolutely amazing. His spells are amazing. He's been nerfed so much that he actually got a sponsorship with Nerf guns. I don't know if you guys saw the commercials.
It's Lucario or nothing. That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah. Like Lucario is just really amazing character, right? But we're talking about solo queue teammates. So where does that leave me? We have some people who watch the anime and they're like, "Oh my god, Ash Ketchum and Lucario is like really cool because like he can punch things." And then we have the super sweats that are like, yo, if you tech Bone Rush and E-Speed at the same time, it does more damage, and then you reset twice, and then you go through, and then if you equip the Razor Claw, they only have 0.3 seconds to escape. So, like, this is, like, it's tough. Like, I want to say coin flip, but I also think it's, like, possible carry, and also, my god, why? Like, I don't even know where to begin with Lucario. I think he covers the whole spectrum. I'm okay with coin flip. I'm okay with possible carry. What say you?
So I agree with you. Lucario, like most things, exists on a spectrum, and unfortunately, he now exists on a very, very broad spectrum. uh, Originally, I was gonna say like possible carry because if you get the good teammate, they do the pop off. If you get the bad teammate, it's whatever. I'm kind of in between. Like they won't throw, but like I kind of coin flip. Like I've never seen a Lucario into the game. You know what I mean? Like
I've seen some Lucarios that legit run around the map and they're just level 10 at Ray and they just press buttons and die.
That's kind of true.
Or like they try to ult the Rayquaza from their own home base.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, you're right. Actually, I will put him in coin flip because it's so difficult to like pick the right moveset on him now after he became, the sponsorship for our favorite foam gun toy. I'm going to put him in coin flip.
Yeah, I think coin flip as well. But like his coin flip
flip.
is like very, very close to possible carry. But I think by definition it has to be coin flip.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Actually, you talked me into it.
All right, so next up we have Talonflame, or in another language, oh! Sean, what do you think?
So I'm actually really torn on this one between My God Why and intentional throwing because he's just not good.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll get a teammate that pops off, but I feel like it's almost because of the team
Right.
more so than him. Like there was a game I played where they had like a Zero Aura, him, somebody else, just the worst characters, but all three of them dove me at once, and I was like, and then we won that game anyway. So you know what? Intentional throwing. Get in there, Burb.
So, so I'm with you. I'm between My God Why and intentional throwing. The only reason that maybe I'm leaning My God Why is because sometimes they slap goal getter on this thing and they just back cap a lot. But
That's
like
not
in
the
the
thing
good
anymore.
way, not in like the annoying you suck at this video game way.
Yeah,
Um
yeah. It could go both ways though, honestly. It could be the bad
Yeah,
way
I,
and the good
I
way.
I think I've seen good talons, but I haven't seen a lot, but I have seen them. So I think it's like less than a coin flip. It's like a bad coin flip. Like you gotta win a 2 out of 3 or something. So
Yeah,
I
I agree with that.
think I'm good with My God Why.
I'm fine with that. I wanted to give Garchomp a friend, but I'm sure he'll get a buddy eventually. So
Oh,
we can put him
it's
in my
coming
God
soon.
why. Yeah, oh yeah, I see him. I see him in the middle of the field.
All right, let's put Talon in My God Why. I'm actually gonna put Talon above the other two. What do you think?
um, yeah, because I'm more happy to see
Yeah,
my
and
opponent
it
Talon
ults a
now.
lot, it scores a lot, it could be okay. Fly
Yeah, it
secure,
could
that's a
schmoove.
good
It could
point,
do some
chat.
things.
Chat said that fly secures sometimes, and yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, fly secures, but then like that also comes down to the back cap thing where he's like, I'm gonna back cap and then I'm gonna fly to secure Ray, and then he back caps and they take the Ray, and he's like, my name's Jeff.
Right.
So yeah.
All right, so next up we have my possibly maybe favorite Pokemon in the entire game, just as far as playing Unite. I absolutely love Eldegoss. As a support main in 5 stacks, I think the character is beyond fun. You just press A, you hit your spells, you support your teammates, you give shields. The mobility on this character feels so fluid, but none of that matters here. What does matter is that the ult is very, very helpful. All 4 of its attacks help in a team fight. Like if you, a lot of people in solo queue run the pollen move that gives you like a what's that cotton guard around you,
Yeah.
where it has a little CC stun to it. I don't prefer that move, but it's still pretty good. It at least stuns. People run pollen puff for heals. I want to put this in they won't throw. Because I've never really seen an LD throw a game. They're usually very helpful. They usually help you stack in lane. I think LD is like pretty high up there, and they won't throw. I would put it right behind Ninetales, in my opinion. What do you think?
So I kind of agree with that. My only concern is when people are like, I watched a YouTube video and you could do damage Eldegoss. And I'm like, yeah, of course, the healer is a damage character. Thank you for
Right.
contributing. But
Yeah.
even then, they be doing damage. Like it's really not all that bad. So I kind of agree with you. I think it's a they won't throw. I don't know if I put it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would definitely put it above Wiggly, but also I think maybe Slowbro should be above Wiggly too. I didn't notice that before.
Okay, we could do that, and
Yeah,
then we could
yeah,
slot
yeah.
this in right here. Yeah, because
That's how
like
good
even like you
Slowbro is.
say,
He gets promoted on other people's slots. That's how good he is.
yeah, but like to your point where people like play quote unquote battle LD, even battle
Yeah.
LD, like it's still helpful. It stuns,
Yeah, it
it's
does. Like
bulky,
sometimes he confirms
the
with the
alt
ult. Like
heals.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
think that's where
bad.
LD belongs. Next up on our list, we have Greninja. Sean, it's technically your turn, but mine turn is probably going to be a long turn, so have at it.
All right, so I'm gonna keep it nice and short. And he also belongs in the My God Why. I almost want to bump him to coin flip, but I know in my heart I can't because like you could do some really really filthy things with Ninja. You can ult into 5 surf resets, clear whole teams, do the smoke screen, schmoove on people, or you could take your little attack weight, run over to your opponent's goal at the beginning of the game, be like, "Please, sir, may I have 1 stack?" And then you die, and then they respawn, and they're like, "Surely the stack shop is open now." And they run into 3 people on pad, and they're like, "Are you here to give me stacks?" And then they die again, and they do nothing the whole game, and they show up to pit level 8.5, and I want to kill myself. So he's going in my God Watch for sure.
Listen, that was way more positive than I'm going to take this. I think this thing is, I watched the anime and I'm 12 years old. I think this is the textbook definition. We're talking solo queue only. This mon blows. I never, ever want to see Greninja as my teammate because they're always bad. They never do anything. They're never in the Rayquaza pit because they don't have sustainability. And like people getting surf resets, that's for 5 stacks. That's when your team gets chipped, you surf reset, and then you move around the map. In solo queue, they don't have that. They're either losing a 1v1 to a defender, they're backcapping always. They're the king of backcap. It's just like people who choose this Pokemon, I feel like have like a mental block where they're like, I want to be the coolest, and my favorite color is purple. I think it's the worst. Actually, maybe the worst Pokemon that I ever want to see on my team. It gives me the heebie-jeebies.
There's definitely somebody worse than that, but
oof.
I have to say, does it count if my opponent's Greninja 1v7s us? Because I see that a lot.
Do we though? I mean, maybe like in trios and stuff, but like in pure solo queue, like when you're legit just by yourself, not even trios, with me. Though. I don't know. I never see it. So
I'm with 5 individuals, and I'm running into a 3-stack, and that Greninja is stuffing me into a bag.
All right, so I mean, the highest I'll go is intentional throwing.
Yeah, give Garchomp a friend.
Okay. All right. My 2. All right. So next up on our list is Crustle the Hustle. What do you guys think?
Oh, I mean, this is yours. Take it away, buddy.
Oh, this is mine? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This mom blows.
On such a tangent.
This is also going into I watched the anime and I'm 12. It's not really an anime character, but my god, does it do nothing, huh? Like, at all. And, like, in solo queue, whenever they're on my team, I just feel like, man, they just really don't help ever. And, like, sometimes they run the backcap build, they score a lot, and, like, they could run Rock Tomb, but let's be honest, the only person in the world that runs Rock Tomb is Indy, and it doesn't matter. Indy could play a sock and get, and get value. So, like, I don't know. I think on average, this is probably the one of, if not the second worst Pokemon in the game right now. I just think it has no place, it counters nothing, and it doesn't do anything. What do you think?
So I 100% agree with you. Again, I've seen some Crustles pop off. Like, I've seen some stuns, some X scissors, but that's in coordination. In non-coordinated games, you don't backcap enough, right? You're not greedent. You're not fast enough. You don't steal objectives often enough. You're not impactful in the game. You're a defender, and you're not defending. You're just running your little crab butt into their goal, scoring your 5 points, leaving because you don't die. I see a Crustle scored, I just let him go half the time. And then the other half the time, I know I can kill him, so I get free experience. Like, I've never seen a Crustle in lane and be like, Crustle, damn. When I see him on my team, though, I'm like, wow, that kid watched the anime, and he's 12. So,
yeah. Yeah, I think one of your statements there is the perfect way to describe it. You're a defender, and you're not defending. That's going to land it in, I watched the anime, and I'm 12.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, next up on our list is Big Daddy Snorlax.
Oh, I love
the GOAT.
Snorlax.
But you may start off.
So we should make a new tier, just called Snorlax. So just put him in there. Snorlax. But biases aside, I don't know the like change to block because they said there was a bug. Did they make it like not CC as much or something?
So the bug with block was if you blocked somebody into anything wall or anything that has the properties of a wall, it giga stunned them for too long where they got perma stuck, like they actually couldn't move.
Right, yeah. But that was block plus, right? That's what they said?
Right, exactly, yeah.
Okay. So if you get block plus, it still does that. I'm gonna put him in either they won't throw or possible carry, kind of, because he be making some plays, brother. He pushes people off with block. You get your Rayquaza, or not Rayquaza, your Lecky in.
Yeah.
You block people out of Ray Pit. You be doing some stuff. He's a good defender. They buffed my boy. I'm loving him right now. So
yeah, I'm actually with you on like possible carry. I think in a solo queue environment, he's probably the second best defender in the game right now. I think they won't throw is super safe for him, but I think even then, like a good heavy slam into a block will just win you a team fight. Like you could definitely possibly carry the game as a defender by just making room for your damage dealers to win. So I think we could put him at the very bottom of possible carry.
No, I think what we should do is put him behind Ninetales and they won't throw because of one reason.
Okay.
People think Flail is a selectable move. And I'd be seeing Flail. Early game, they don't have a choice but to carry, but then they be picking Flail, and then I'm sad. So I might have to put them into they won't throw because
Right.
it's possible to move select yourself behind a Ninetales with basics. Even though I
Right.
really want him to be possible carry because I love me some big bro. I mean, Lax, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that but isn't that the same for Ninetales? Like, people could choose Avalanche.
Yeah, but like even if you choose the wrong moves on Ninetales, your autos freeze people. So like it's like a wiggly thing. Just by existing, you're doing the thing. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
when you pick Flail, and then you, especially if they don't pick block, if they pick Flail Yawn because they think they're the Giga Chad MVP, oh my god, it goes from I watch the anime and I'm 12 to oh the best defender in the game.
Yeah,
So,
that's
and this
fair.
is solo queue.
Yeah,
So we
Flail-Lax
have
really
to.
is quite bad. Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
we have to punish him for people's sins, as is the case in all of Pokemon Unite.
All right, fair enough. All right, so next up on our list is Charizard. Uh, so I think it's my turn here, Charizard. So I mean, I think Charizard's ult is one of the best solo queue ults in the entire game. You can truly be by yourself and pick up 2 to 3 kills just by clicking the ult button. It can be grief, however, his ult is super easy to cancel. A lot of solo queue players don't run full heal on him, so they're at risk of not even ulting in the pit, and it's super sad. But when they do get their ult off, it's really, really nice. And Charmander as a laner can be excruciatingly bad. I think he's actually pretty solid in the jungle. I think he's coin flip. Just because his ult is so powerful, and if you get it off, especially not against a 5 stack, it's so great. But there's a lot of pitfalls that bad players can fall through. So I'm thinking coin flip.
So I 100% agree. One of my favorite things to do, and of course I'm biased because I'm playing a Zoomer who's absolutely giga cracked right now,
Right.
is see a Charmander in my lane and be like, oh, I didn't know they spawned an extra Baneri for me to eat. This is fantastic. And then just killing him the entire game until he's finally a Charmeleon at Rayquaza.
Right.
So I'm definitely going to put him in coin flip.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
sometimes it's not your fault. Like your lane phase is good, but not stupendous. So like I'll put him in coin flip.
Should we say his coin flip is better than Luca's and Krams?
Yeah. Because just you can't not click the ult. So like you can't get
Yeah.
the ult wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right. So next up on the list is Pikachu.
So my opinion, Pikachu is like really, really fallen off giga hard.
Right.
You can still get a good Pika. I don't know if I see him, if in my head I'm thinking, my god, why, or coin flip, because his early lane is still oppressive. And you can still do some CC stuff, but that's kind of fallen into the category of like, again, coordinated 5 stack, CC the right person, awesome, versus CC the right person, your solo queue teammates like, look at Sandwich!
Right.
And then
Right.
you die. So like I'm kind of torn. Like I really love Pika, but I'm torn between coin flip and my god why, to be honest with you, as much as it pains me to say it.
No, I'm actually right there with you. I'm in the my god why tier. I think Pikachu can be really good as like a mage, somebody who stays out of the fight, but realistically all Pikachus do in solo queue is run Electro Ball. They're
Yeah.
mildly annoying. They're like that fly that's like in your house but you're too lazy to go kill it, you know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah,
like
yeah.
like when I play against Pikachu, it annoys me, but it also never makes me feel like I'm losing. Cause like
Yeah.
they'll piss me off, they'll ruin one of my combos with Volt Tackle, and then as soon as I land from the Volt Tackle, I'm gonna eat them. Like
Yeah.
even as a defender, I'm diving it as Mammo, I'm gonna eat it. As Guardy, I'm outranging it. As Ninetales, I'm freezing it. As Gengar, I'm one-shotting it. Like I think it's maybe even borderline intentional throwing. I think it's just kind of bad. But I guess we
Yeah,
could
he's
go with
okay
My
in
God
early
Why
lane.
because the
Yeah.
early lane is so powerful.
Yeah, I'll put him in my god why above Cinder, because like I'm with you. Sometimes he annoys me enough that I'll pop an X speed to eat him, but I do eat him. Like
Yeah,
or I
yeah.
ignore him. Like
Yeah,
because
yeah.
everybody's running the Volt Tackle Electro Ball because of the CDR.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
So next up we have Zeraora, and I am putting this one. Whoo! This is a
He's in the
beast
game?
right here, right into the. I watched the anime and I'm 12. Oh man, this mon is hot garbo. Does nothing. The people who play it because it's yellow. It just doesn't have any redeeming qualities. I can't stand when they're on my team. They run around the map. They discharge into 50 people. Its only redeeming quality is that sometimes its ult is really fat. Like, really, really fat ult. But even then, like, sometimes people solo ult defenders, and I'm like, bro, you just did nothing. I don't know. It's real bad as a solo queue teammate, man. I hate seeing somebody on my team playing Zera. So I would put it in the 12 years old category. What about you?
So I would actually make his own category, which is I can't wait for this Pokemon to be released in Unite. Because my God, bro, I tried him yesterday. I tried him with the new items. I tried him with old items. I built him his own friggin' emblem page. Dude, I did everything. Because like I ran into a solo queue player or a trio queue player who was like running in, discharging, and killing all of us. And I was like, he has to be doing something spicy. His build was muscle band with the scarf
Right.
and like focus. And all he was doing was just he was the jungler, so he got levels on us and he was doing basics. And it wasn't even that the character was good, he was just like 3 or 4 levels over us, so obviously you're gonna kill us if you're that high leveled. His kit is atrocious. His early game is okay. He gets his levels when people be getting their ults. He doesn't get his plus move until level 14. 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Don't hit
Oof.
level 14. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
Please stop it. Can
Level
you please
14 in
buff my
solo
boy?
queue is pain. I forgot about that.
Bro, even in team fights, like even 5v5, I see like maybe one person's 15, one person's thinking about 14. Neither of those people are you, if you're Sarah. It's not happening. I love the Mon. Wild Charge is a cracked ability that shouldn't be in the game. They should just take that out. But like, he's just awful, man. He has no redeeming qualities at all. He's not playable. You
Right.
just if you're not ahead, you're losing. It's so unfortunate.
Yeah, I agree. I think he goes at the bottom of the list. I think he might stay there. He maybe has competition for maybe one person, but like,
Well, there's one other Mon that I tried that's not quite that bad, but he's definitely getting a spanking too. I tried 2 Mons yesterday in preparation for this list, and he was one of them.
all right, cool.
My poor Elo, brother. I tried everything. My poor Zara could not handle it.
All
I
right.
let him go jungle.
Next up on the list, we have Gardevoir. All right, Sean, what do you think?
Gardevoir, now that they finally nerfed Sableye, oh my god, this Mon is cracked. I love Guardy. When I see a Guardy on my team, I'm not even mad anymore. I used to be upset. I
Right.
used to be like, goddamn Ralts. But now Gardevoir be popping off, brother. I'm almost tempted to put her in They Will Carry. Because that ult be fat. Although I have seen a couple Guardies ult a tree, so
Yep.
like I've seen somebody miss every single Guardy spell, and like I went into jungle yesterday. I was actually complaining because I was I forget who I was. Doesn't matter. Cinder was in jungle. I jumped in to kill him. Cinder got me. Our
Right.
Guardy jumped into jungle and then just started casually walking away. I was like, brother, you want to cast a spell? You
Yeah.
want to try? Just died. So like. That's almost like punishing them for the sins, but it's got to be possible carry or they will carry. I don't care. Even the bad players, like you can get 1 in 100. Like Hardfort's really good right now.
Yeah, so I'm in between the same. I'm actually really high on Guardy right now. I've been playing Guardy for the whole season. I have like a over 80% win rate on Guardy this season. The buff to confusion is super noticeable in lane. It's really helpful. And just the CDR emblems and all the emblems that have been released have been
Yeah.
so partial to special attackers. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but like the emblem system is so partial to special attackers.
Yes, yeah, 100%.
And,
Green
like,
black? Are you kidding me?
yeah,
What?
Guardy's getting so much from black emblems. It's actually insane. So for me, it's between they will carry and possible carry. Like, I want to put it in they will, but man, like, when you get a bad lane Guardy or a Guardy that just refuses to cast spells, it could be really tough. But right now, I don't know. I think I want to put it in they will carry or maybe or
It's
possible.
either the top of possible carry or they will carry. Like the bottom of they will carry, although it's the only Pokemon in there right now.
Right.
Because there's
Uh,
also like no bad moves. Like I've even gotten smacked by Future Sight. Like both sets of spells
Yeah.
are good.
Yeah,
The Moonblast is good. Like
I think it'll end up at the bottom of they will carry right now in this season because there's a few people
Probably,
coming
yeah.
up that I think are actually going to go and they will carry. We'll see how you feel.
Okay.
But I guess let's put it there for now, and when we're done, we might revisit Guardy. But
Okay.
I think there's
Yeah.
a very high percentage chance that Guardy's going to go crazy, especially this season if you're in
And she
solo
got the
queue.
power boost with her new skin, you know? Whew, my god.
Facts. All right, so next up on the list is Blissey. This is my first, in my opinion, without a shadow of a doubt, they will carry. And I know that seems a little backwards because it's Blissey, but my god, is there no better feeling in the world than loading into a solo queue game and seeing a Blissey on your team? Oh my god, it brings my heart joy. You load into a solo queue game, you look at your opponent's team, you see a Sableye, you're like, oh no! But then you see the Blissey on your team and you're like, oh yeah! Like, it's just Safeguard is good, Helping Hand is good, Eggs are good, Egg Bomb is good. I've seen Blisseys take Rays. Even if all the Blissey does is walk around the map and just follow a Cinder for the entire game, they're carrying. They're giving your team an unfair advantage that the other team has. I hate playing against Blissies when I don't have a Blissey.
Oh
I
yeah.
think Blissey is cracked in solo queue. That's my opinion, especially as a teammate. When I see it, I love it. What do you think?
So I definitely love seeing it on my team, but there is no worse feeling than having the Blissey never pocket anyone the entire game, which also happens in solo queue. Like, oh, they're like DPS Blissey or something, and I'm like, brother, please just give me a safe card.
That's funny. I feel like that barely happens, though. I've
It
never really
rarely
seen it.
happens. It's very, very rarely happens. It's like the same occurrence as Guardy, I feel like, where like you're very rarely gonna get a bad Blissey, because like Blissey is the support mon. It's like slow, bro. You can't not support. Like if you're not supporting, you're not playing them on. So like unless you
Right.
get somebody brand new,
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 you're gonna get a really good Blissey. So I'm willing to put them and they will carry
Yeah.
maybe behind Gardevoir because it can't actually 1v5. But
Yeah,
like,
it can't. Yeah, I don't. I
yeah.
just think it's so consistently
Yeah,
good.
it's usually more times than not you're gonna get a teammate who like really wants to just heal you and make you murder people all game, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like I'd be seeing a Cinder pocketed by a Blissey on the enemy team, and then my team is like, "Damn, witches are good. I make mine out of rocks," and then I die because they just 2v1 the whole team. Nobody kills the Blissey.
True. All right. So next up on our list, we've got the Blasty Boy, Mr. Blast Toys.
Well, I love me some Blastoise, my OG favorite, right up there with Snorlax. But I'm a little torn. Like I want to put possible carry because if you pick Hydro Pump Surf, my man has some really good displacement and damage. But I've been seeing people mess around with like Rapid Spin still, which isn't bad, but I still feel like Surf is better.
Right.
He's more defensive than he has been in the past. Like he can't do the damage he used to do, so I think he belongs in They Won't Throw. Maybe behind Snorlax is kind of what I'm feeling. Because he can influence a game, but he's probably not going to win you the game anymore.
Right.
No matter, even with the new items and everything. That's kind of what I'm feeling.
Yeah, I think I could go with that. I was between possible carry and they won't throw, but like comparing him to Snorlax and A9, I'm like, yeah, he's probably a little worse than those two.
Yeah.
What made it possible carry in my mind was the fact that his ult is still so nuts. Like,
Oh, it's
yeah,
so
it doesn't
crazy.
do damage, but it's still a 5-man stun if you hit it.
Yeah. But
And
the problem is when they go in with Water Spout Rapid Spin and you all die, and then he ults just to stay alive and dies anyway. So it's
right,
like his move selection actually influences his ult,
right.
unlike like Charizard.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, and I think yeah, like people are playing spin. I think spin pump. I know like it seems troll, but a couple of people have been trying it lately. It looks interesting to me. I'm probably gonna try it on today's stream, just see how I
I'll
feel
try it
about
too.
it a little
Yeah.
more. But I think I agree with you. I think we could put it right behind Snorlax. I think that's a good shout out for where it belongs.
Yeah. So I will say, like, and it's going to be different, right? Because it's going to be you and me playing together. Like, the thing that made Spin Pump really good in the past was Pump killed people. So you would, like, basic, pump, spin, pump, and they would die while you're CCing them. Now his CC, I feel like, is more important. So surfing them into your team, popping back, then pumping them back into your team again for them to finish them seems like a higher utility option than like double stunning with pump, but not being able to displace them outside of kind of where they're standing.
Right,
So you have to either dive super deep or like hope that you know what I mean? Like it's not horrible, but I don't think it's optimal. Is what I'm
right.
saying.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
but that's a different discussion. That's not a solo queue discussion. So yeah.
All right, so next up on the list, I could be off on this one, but I feel pretty strongly about this. Actually, we'll see how you feel. Next up on the list is Mamoswine. I feel like I also want to put this in They Will Carry. I've almost exclusively never seen a bad Mamo and or a bad Mamo game. This thing, first off, just doesn't die, and it doesn't even matter what level you are. You could be level 11 in Pit, and you just don't die, right? And then, like, whenever I do viewer matches and such, it feels like whenever viewers or people who I just meet or randoms, however you want to call it, when they pick Mamo, it just goes so crazy. And then they pick something else, and I'm like, oh, go back to Mamo. Like like it's actually like it's kind of like strap on your helmet and just let this character be a beast. It's easy to play. It's a monster. It doesn't die. You hit one crash into high horsepower in a big fight, it goes crazy. Ice Fang is still troll to me. I'm not a fan of it, but it's better than other troll moves. I mean, like, for Ice Fang to be your second best move is still a pretty good option. I think it's They Will Carry. I think it's the best solo queue defender in the game, like just defender solo queue, where you can do 60k damage and still defend for your team. I think it's the best. That's my opinion. What do you think?
So I think what they did was they looked at Blastoise, right? And they were like, wow, this defender does way too much damage. That was a mistake. We can never do that again. Then they released Mamo and he was balanced, right? And they're like, all right, we need to release a balance patch that gets people interested in the game. And someone was like, remember Blastoise?
Right.
What if it also freezes people? And then they buffed the giga crap out of Mamo, and he's a monster, dude. He's one of those Pokemon, like you said, super easy to play, because, like, even if you pick Ice Fang, like, I've been complaining about Ice Fang as my opponent is having me for lunch. I'm like, man, Ice Fang is such a bad move. Deposits me in front of the Machamp, who then submissions me into their base, and then I die, and I'm like, oh, that was fun. Like, there's just no wrong moveset with him. Just existing and freezing people by accident, because, like, the way people love to int in solo queue is obviously be over aggressive because they think they're the MVP. Right. You can do that with Mamo, because even if you don't win the fight, if you have somebody competent behind you and you freeze them, that's all you needed to do. Like, your giga aggression, like, I've had people giga aggression get me out of scoring on their pad. Like, they'll be fighting them, I'll go score, get my stack, they'll accidentally freeze them, and I'm out. I'm like, yes! You know, you press the button. Mamo's the best. I 100% agree. They will carry. Yeah. They might not even want to, but they will carry. That thing is a...
Yeah, I just think this character is guaranteed. Strap on your helmet. You will positively impact the game no matter what. Like, you could literally be lost. As long as you wander into the Rayquaza pit by mistake, you're going to help.
Icicle Crash stealing objectives. Oh, delicious.
Yeah, super good.
So good.
I'm in love with Mamo right now, guys. If you guys are looking for a character to spam in ranked, I think Mamo is the character. I think it is nuts right now this season.
Yeah.
Especially because A9 is also good, so sometimes you might get the combo breaker where you have A9 and Mamo and you auto win. It's actually nuts. It's so good.
Ice Lane is a nice lane, you know what I'm saying?
It's a nice lane. Alright, next up on the list is Sylveon.
So, Sylveon, I'm very close to I watched the anime and I'm 12. And I'm going to tell you why.
Really?
They buffed. Here's why, though. It's not actually going to go in there.
Right.
But there are two types of Sylveon players. I watched the anime and I'm 12, and I know what Hyper Voice is. Neither of them can play the game. They don't know how to aim. Just pick the move that does crazy damage. It's a coin flip, because now that they've buffed Mystical Fire, people pick Mystical Fire and have, like, no impact on the game. Because you can't choose who you hit. You can't last hit objectives. It's a lot of fun, I get it. Like, Mystical Fire is a lot of fun, Draining Kiss is a lot of fun. It's not competitively viable. It's still Hyper Voice, it's still Calm Mind. Hyper Voice is a nightmare. When I see an enemy Sylveon with Hyper Voice, I want to fucking uninstall the game.
I
can't. So I'm torn. I'm torn between... Like, I guess coin flip, right? Because if they pick Mystical Fire, I'm very upset.
I'm 100% in the coin flip category. I think Mystical Fire is one of those abilities. I hate it personally because I just couldn't imagine not having control of your character. But with the buffs, Mystical Fire autopilot is like 50k guaranteed, which for solo queue can be helpful. It will never carry... It will never be like, oh my god, did you see that Mystical Fire Sylveon pop off? But, like, it's just very, like, autopilot in a way. Like, I hate it personally. That's, like, why would I play an autopilot character? But as a solo queue teammate, if they go Mystical Fire, I'm like, alright, it's a coin flip. They're probably going to be pretty helpful. Hyper Voice is very good, but to your point, a lot of people click Hyper Voice, they miss, they don't know what they're doing with it, they're not using it as a zoning tool, you know what I mean? So I think,
and then other times Hyper Voice wins the game, like
I think it's above Lucario in coin flip. I think
I can see that, because it's definitely worse than Zard, and Venusaur is literally the coin flippiest mon in the game.
Alright, so next up is Greenit. We actually might have a surprise for me here. I actually think Greenit's going to go into possible carry if it were up to me. Because Greenit is one of those solo queue mons that when Greenit, like when you're getting Greenited, you feel it. Like, you know, when you're in a solo queue game and Greenit scoring every 2 seconds, and you look up and you have no top zone because the little stupid mouse is just running around. And then in solo queue, what happens is a lot of times your teammates become obsessed with the mouse, and even though they can't kill it, they chase it around the map anyway. It can steal objectives easily. It can make 5 people chase it for no reason. It jungle invades. If I see a Greedent on my team, I'm very happy. Sometimes they can be a bit of a throw artist, so I don't want to go as high as they will carry, but definitely possible carry, in my opinion.
So I agree. I think Greedent is the perfect representation of a small mammal in the game. Because just like small mammals, it survived the nerfs that killed the dinosaurs. This thing, it's only played by Greedent mains. I haven't picked mine up in a while, I'm not going to lie.
Right.
It's a menace. I played Urshifu yesterday and got 1v1'd by Bullet Seed. Like, I just had to stare at him as he killed me. I had no choice. This stupid mouse would just run around me and kill me.
Just look at its Avi. Look, it's just staring at me right now.
I crit it and almost killed it with the punch, and then he just threw 5 berries and ate it. And I'm like, bro, ow. It's so good.
All right, so I think I want to put
win
him
rate in the game, by the way.
Do we want to put him at the bottom of possible carry, or even on top of a champ in possible carry?
I'm maybe on top of a champ, because like you said, sometimes you do be backcapping and not influencing the game. But from like I've heard other like top tier players and like streamers and stuff say like picked win rate, he is the highest picked win rate character in the game for solo queue. And it's not necessarily that he's like he carries, but like you said, like, he influences the games in ways that no other champ does.
Right.
And people really be following him. And unless you're a Zoroark that's going to do 5 dashes to catch up with his squirrely butt, you're not doing it.
Yeah.
So just give it up.
I agree. All right, so next up on the list, we got your boy Decadewey.
Ooh, so Decadewey, my brother.
So
I don't know how I feel about him because he might be an int.
Yeah,
he's really good, but when people pick him, they're so bad.
Yeah,
they can't aim.
Yeah.
The Razor Leaf was popping off for like a hot second. I'm torn between like Coin Flip and I'm 12. Like I'm in that range. I don't know where I want to put him in that range because he could also win the game until you try to ult to secure the objective and forget that Spirit Shackle does more burst damage than your Razor Leaf before the final hit of the ult.
He's really bad. Like, as a teammate, like, if I see him loading into my game, I just assume they're useless. And every now and then they're good and they run Shackle and they help. But it's such a low percentage. There's so many grief Rowlets running around solo queue that do nothing, that end the game with like 40k damage. All they did was show up to pit and get blown up. I'm in between my God Y and intentional throwing. I'll let you make the call between those two.
I'll say my God Y because I don't feel as terrible seeing him as I used to. Like, I'm even okay with him being in lane sometimes, but I'm definitely not happy about it. I put him above Pikachu though because he'd be doing more than Pikachu's on average.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, next up on the list,
Pikachu's
we
that
have...
try be dying.
Next up on the list, we have everybody's first crush, Serena. Let's see. What do I feel about Serena? I mean, Serena's powerful still. Even despite all the nerfs, they just can't seem to nerf it enough. With all the resets and everything, it's definitely beatable, though. It's really susceptible to CC, and the nerf to full heal kind of hurts it. But at the same time, it could just pop off. I almost want to put it at the bottom of possible carry. But, like, the very bottom of it. That's what I'm thinking. What are you thinking?
So I was gonna originally just put it into intentional throw after the nerfs. Because, bro, people deadass read the patch notes and they were like, alright, so it has less defense. It has less special defense. It does less damage. It's perfect. And then picked it. I was like, bro, what?
Right.
And, like, I don't know. I've tried to play a couple games. It wasn't fantastic. It was still good.
Right.
They definitely won't throw, but they are a possible carry sometimes. Sometimes they pop. I don't know how much it carries anymore, though. That's my problem with it. I feel like you get stunned a lot more. You die a lot faster. You don't have the same sustain you used to because your defenses are lower now. I almost want to put it at, like, the top of they won't throw, you know? Like, that's kind of where I'm at. I don't know if it's a possible carry anymore. So I just don't feel like she can 1v5
so
unless
it's weird because I feel like possible carry and they won't throw are equal but separate tiers.
Right, yeah.
Like, I know we have possible
Yeah,
carry on top, but like sometimes you'd rather have they won't throw because possible carry inherently means possible throw as well. You know what I mean? So that's why I feel like I wouldn't put it in they won't throw because there are Serenas that will throw, but it's just I don't think there's that many of them
but do you
comparatively.
really think that they can carry now still after all the nerfs?
I mean, maybe we could go to the top of coin flip.
Yeah, I can see that. Because sometimes you'll have that Serena that doesn't do anything.
Yeah, yeah, some Serenas are bad. And like her ult is very good in solo queue too. It's very similar to slow bro. You can just
Yes.
pick somebody out of a fight and that's it for them.
Some people pick triple axle, you know what I mean? And it's just not gonna.
Yeah, triple axel looks fun, but boy, does it just only look
I
fun.
miss it. It was so good when it first dropped, but
All right,
it's
so
just not
next up
good.
is Dragonite. This is a tough one for me. I have like a personal like for Dragonite, but like I think the biggest issue with Dragonite is that it runs Outrage, and a lot of people, when I see this thing in solo queue, as sad as it is to say, like 75% of the time, it's Outrage. And that almost makes me want to put it in intentional throwing. But like a really good Hyper Beam Dragonite could go all the way up as possible carry. But I think the good Dragonites are just not playing solo queue. I think this is intentional throwing because I almost always see it in Outrage, and it's just Outrage does nothing, man. It's really bad. What do you think?
So kind of right there with you, honestly. Like, I love me some Dragonite. Hyper Beam can do good, but like the only time that outrage is ever really good, right, is when you're ahead. And I feel like the only way that you're getting ahead is because your team is doing something, which means for him to not throw my game, I have to be popping off. For him to jump in with outrage and like get the scarf value, or like if he's hyper beam, I still have to kind of set it up for him. I have to be peeling for him. Like he's a very teammate dependent character. He could do some really nasty things, but he's not going to do those things by himself in solo queue. He's like his team needs to lift him up, kind of.
So
So
I'm
I
thinking,
wouldn't say he's an intentional throw because like I don't think they're trying to throw with him, but like maybe it's a my god why I don't know. I could see him an intentional throw though if you really want to put him there. I kind of agree with it.
yeah, it's just because Outrage is so bad. Like it's
Yeah,
real bad.
and,
Like
and hyper beam
you
is not good enough by itself.
like
Like
you dive into a fight and then literally CC yourself at some point. Like it's actually
yeah,
so
yeah,
bad. I would
yeah,
maybe put it
yeah.
at the top of intentional throwing because I think it's better than Garchomp and I think it's better than Ninja most of the time because of Hyper Beam. But like, would I rather Dragonite over like a Cinderace? Probably not. I think I'd rather just have the Cinder. Like, you know what I
I'd
mean?
rather
Like,
have the Cinder. Yeah, I'd rather have the Cinder.
all right.
So
So
yeah,
next
yeah.
up is Trevenant. Take it away.
Trevenant is unfortunately not as good as he used to be. He's still a defender though. Like I kind of want to just put him in. They won't throw
Right.
because he's got some movement. He's got some damage. He's thick. You know, he's made of bark. They're pretty thick. He's a good mon. He's kind of where Mamo was before these last couple patches. Like he feels balanced. He doesn't feel broken anymore. He
Right.
can really help out a team. He's not gonna carry. I just put him in. They wouldn't throw. Probably behind, maybe behind everybody, like at the bottom if they won't throw, maybe.
I
Kind of
yeah,
what I'm feeling.
I'm in 100% agreement. They won't throw. It's very tanky. Sometimes even they do amazing in the Rayquaza pit, depending on like the team comps. So yeah,
Yeah,
right at the bottom of they won't throw. I think that's pretty solid.
yeah, no, I agree.
All right, next up is Aegislash. I probably want to put Aegislash into possible carry. I thought about they will carry, but there's some real bad sword players out there, especially
Yeah,
in lane. But this Mon is a beast. It's got a really good skill cap. If you know how to get your stacks and if you know how to use your wide guard, man, it could just absolutely tear through team fights. I think it's very strong. I think the ult has a secure for Rayquaza, which is pretty important in solo queue. But sometimes people int with it. But I think it's for sure a possible carry. I would even say it's like above Machamp and right behind Greedent. That's where I would put it. What do you think?
yeah. You favor him more than I do. I felt that way before they nerfed him.
Yeah.
And now that I've seen him nerf, like I'm never afraid of him anymore. I can 1v1 him. But again, I'm biased. I play Azumarill. He's the most broken character in the game. So like
Right.
I'm not afraid of him anymore. He definitely does influence some team fights, but I be seeing some sword players, like you said, really throw. like shadow sneak or whatever the sword move is.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
shadow sneak.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? The shadow claw.
Yeah, yeah,
Trying
yeah.
to crit people. Like he's good. I guess I could see him in a possible carry because sometimes sword pops off. And even like a bad sword, if they run wide guard, because nobody picks Ironhead, thank God, he
Right.
could do some things. I guess I can meet you in possible carry. I definitely think that you've seen some better swords than I have, though. I'll put it that way.
So do
Like,
you think maybe the top of coin flip is better?
yeah, yeah, I'd put him in coin flip honestly, because like sometimes swords just they're just not getting it done. It also depends on your team's picks too, because like if there's four all rounders, he's probably the worst one. Because like he's just not peeling for anybody at that point since you're all fighting up close and personal.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So next up on the list is Hoopa.
My man's. I miss Hoopa. Hoopa used to be so busted.
Yeah.
Even his ult doesn't feel strong anymore. It really doesn't. Like it went from the most cracked, broken CC ult in the game to like, oh look, it's Big Hoopa, and then you just kill him. I don't know. I ran into one that like literally had infinite portals. I could not like kill him. He felt like a grenade until the pit fight, and then I killed him real easy.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that was quick. So like they can support. I wouldn't say it's a my god why, because like if I have a good one, I'm kind of happy that he's supporting me. Maybe it's a coin flip, but like I definitely have him at the lower end of my spectrum. How do you feel about him right now?
So I think by definition, he's probably gonna be the worst they won't throw. Because
Yeah,
like he's not coin flippy in the sense that he's consistently what he is, which is like
right,
just a supporter. He can't really throw your game. Sometimes if his portals are good, he can really save a game, but it's like rare
right.
that you get like a good portal user. I would probably put it at the very bottom of they won't throw and like not move him from the bottom. Like he'll always be at the bottom of that because I just don't think coin flip fits him because he's not a coin
Yeah,
flip. He just is what he is, which is like he's not a
yeah. Like I'm never
throw,
really
but
upset.
like yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm never really upset when he's in my game. So I agree
Yeah,
with you.
like at least he's a support. That's how I feel about it. I feel support is broken, so like at the very least he's support. So like just the bottom of well, he's not throwing my game, but he's definitely not winning it.
Yeah,
Next up's an interesting one. I'm actually, this might be the first Pokemon that I'm torn between coin flip and they will carry, and it's Duraludon, the ultimate coin flip.
yeah.
So his win percentage apparently is really, really, really high because he just has like ridiculous confirm in the Rayquaza pit, and his melt of Rayquaza is so fast that when your opponents have one, you literally have to account for it. Like you can't like how sometimes it's like all right, that Rayquaza's up in 4 seconds. Let me get a quick jungle buff. You
Yeah,
literally cannot do that if Duraludon's on the opponent's team. It's like legit, like a 5 second rip. It's insane when he
it's
puts the
crazy.
alt
Yeah,
on it. And more often than not, people who play Dura are actually kind of like pretty good. I almost want to put him either like, gosh, I don't know, the top of possible carry or the bottom of they will carry. I don't know. What do you think?
uh, I kind of want to put him at the bottom of they will carry because like even Stealth Rocks is not great, but like he's not gaining advantage off of his abilities. He's gaining
Right.
advantage off of his ult and pressing the B and or A button, and like most people who play him on solo queue ladder are doing that.
Right.
So I kind of agree with that. I kind of agree with like the bottom of they will carry or like top of possible carry because he's really good right now. Scarf gave him a giga buff,
Yeah.
and like I've had times where like my team fights them out of pit, and my Dora sees it and he's like, "This is my time," and he melts
Right.
that Rayquaza in 3 seconds, and all I have to do is
Yeah.
hold them off.
Or even just leaving a
Like,
Dura alone with a Reggie on bottom. It's like, all right, everybody else
yeah,
rotate top. We're just gonna leave Dura bottom. Like it's
fighting him on top, and he settles the 6 year war of who's going to get the first Lucky because he just flips it while the rest of you are fighting. Like,
yeah, yeah,
he's the I'm going to flip the objective Pokemon, but he actually does it. Like, even if you're bad at the game and you're just trying to flip the objective, he does it. So I'd definitely put him at they will carry.
yeah. Okay. All right. So next up on our list is Azumarill.
All right, so this is mine. I'm definitely not biased at all. Uh, when you put, I've seen two items on him. One that I think is 100% correct, and the other one that I'm kind of interested in trying, but I just refuse to take the other item off. The first is Drain Crown. You just run attack weight, and Scope Lens and Drain Crown, and he's a monster. Somebody else I saw was running Weakness Policy, which is also pretty interesting, but like
Mm.
the extra healing from Drain Crown is gross. The damage he outputs is disgusting. The level 8 ult, the level 4 evolution, this Pokemon's kit is absolutely cracked. However, there's this move that people be picking called Play Rough. Stupid, whatever the other one is.
Yeah.
With the Whirlpool Play Rough. Please stop. Stop it. It's not quite as bad as Venu.
Right.
Because if you do play rough, you do get like a moment of CC where your team can act on it. And like I really want to put him and they will carry because I've soloed lanes with him like by myself. And then team fight is another story. Like you have to hope that your Water Pulse Plus gets the job done. But like I've fought on pad for 10 minutes. I've cleared lanes. Like the Pokemon is giga busted. Like he's probably an S tier Pokemon right now. The only thing though is solo queue players sometimes be picking Whirlpool and play rough, and then it's like it's rough to play. So like I'm torn between they will carry and like maybe a little bit lower because sometimes people giga int on him and his ult doesn't make up for the giga int. Like
so
that's where I'm at.
I'm leaning they will carry. I'm actually right there with you. I think the mon's disgusting. I think it's busted. I think it ults every 5 seconds, which is really important in solo queue. It just sustains and lives on pad. I think it's nuts. I actually want to take a look at our they will carry category. Let me know how you feel. I kind of want to put Azu second, and then I want to drop Guardy to the end of it.
Yeah, I kind of with that. What about Blissey? Do you think Blissey is above Guardy?
Yeah, because it's always good. In my opinion, like I've just never had a Blissey. It's just like you know what I mean. Like sometimes I'll scream at a Blissey, like why didn't you ult me? But like he still ulted someone. I almost want to drop the Guardy to possible carry.
Okay, I can see that. But ahead of
like because like it's really good, but like it's just so like it's not. It's more reliant on skill than these top 4.
Yeah,
these top 4 are just
say, like,
busted. Like you know what I mean? Like it's like even if you're kind of bad, you're still gonna get so much value. If you're kind of bad on Guardy, you're getting no value.
Yeah, that's true. Because like Guardy's main driving force is the distance you could use her moves, and like sometimes people be getting too close or be getting died,
they just
so, like,
straight up. Yeah. I think this looks better in my opinion.
Do you think Azu should go above or below Mamo though?
I think below just because of what you said about Whirlpool play rough.
Okay, that's fine.
That's literally it. If people didn't choose that shit in solo queue, it would be like the number 1, I think, probs.
Yeah, like and a lot of times when Azus fall off, it's because their team let them down.
Right.
After they carried, like I'll see them Azu like carry top lane and then bottom lane comes and poops on the entire team and there's like nothing he can do, but like they'll carry your lane at the very least if y'all don't mess up after that.
All right, so next up is Espeon, which it's my turn for Espeon. I don't know. I'm pretty jaded when it comes to Espeon. People play this thing and they tell me it's good, but I think they're lying. I really don't like it. Like its ult is okay. It does have stun. It did get buffed, but it's like, why would I just play it over my other options? Like, why? I don't know. I'm willing to like maybe meet in coin flip if you feel strongly, but I almost want to put it in my God why. Like I'm not a fan actually.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. So like the thing with Espeon, it was something I was going to say about Zeraora earlier. It's an okay champ. It's not unplayable on like Zeraora.
Right.
But the amount of skill and effort and time you're going to put into learning this mon to get the most out of it, you could put a fourth of the work into Sylveon and like actually do something. Or you could put half the work into Glaceon and like do a lot of things. Or, like,
yeah.
There's just so many. Just pick Duraludon, press A, brother. Like, why are we playing this Pokemon? I love Espeon. He's one of my favorites. Like, favorite mons. I cannot play Espeon. It's not good enough. It's just not. It's not enough reward. Like, I'm hitting level 4 and I'm not a Zoomer. What am I doing? Like, why am I here? I don't understand. So yeah, definitely my God, why?
Okay.
100% agree
I put it
that.
at the top because it's pretty good in lane, and I do think it's better than the others, like overall. But I just All right, next up is Delphox.
Sheesh. All right, so Delphox. I don't know how I feel about Delphox. Delphox is really, really good in the right hands, but also really, really bad in the hands.
Yeah.
I kind of want to put Delphox in coin flip. like towards the top end of coin flip because like Delphox can influence the game if they
Yeah.
be popping their spells off correctly. But like I said, a lot of times they don't, and they're just getting dove, and it's a bad time.
Yeah, I'm with you between coin flip and carry because between coin flip and possible carry because there are times where Delphox absolutely murders, and its ult is so fucking good. It ults so much.
Oh yeah, yeah, but that's why it's a coin flip, right? Because sometimes you get the Delphox that thinks it's a water Pokemon or something. I don't know. It's,
Yeah.
it's getting eaten alive. Like top of coin flip though for sure. Like because you can get a lane Delphox that is actually not horrible now. It used to be the worst thing ever, but like it's kind of okay.
Right.
It's not great, but it's kind of okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tapu Coin Flip is fine for it. Next up, we have Glaceon. I think Glaceon's probably going to be possible carry for me. I think the Pokemon's really good. It ults every 2 seconds. Like, when you're trying to win top lane and Glaceon just rolls up on you with that level 8 ult and just ice shards your entire health bar, it's really rough. Like, it can snowball a game pretty fast. I kind of want to put it in possible carry above, like, Machamp. I think it's a good mon. What do you think?
I agree with that placement because Glaceon's be moving in lane and out of lane. Like I've even seen like I've kept in Eevee and Eevee for like a good portion of the top laning phase, but as soon as it's Glaceon, it's like I have to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. Even though they're under leveled, my position has to be right, my gank has to be right. It's a scary mod. It's good,
Yeah.
even after the nerfs. It's good. It's what SBR wishes it was, you know?
Alright, so next up we got Buzzwole.
Yeah, my God, why? I'm sorry. It's either that or Int, brother. He's a fun mon,
Yeah.
but like if you want to CC somebody, bro, just pick Machamp and sprint at them.
Yeah.
He's not it. He's not him. That's all I can say. He's just not
Yeah,
him.
I
Giga Suck
agree.
is
I'm
cute,
right there
but
in My God Why. I'd probably put it like above Talon maybe because like sometimes he joins a team fight, he picks somebody up and he puts them
yeah,
down somewhere else and it's helpful. But a lot of
yeah.
times he
Like
just doesn't do anything as well.
so he pops off early, right? Like in lane, like I've gotten slammed and killed, right? Where like if it's a Talon or an Absol in lane, I'm like, okay. Like,
Right. Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, Buzzwole falls off late game. Like it's the
Yeah,
middle of
hard.
winter and all the mosquitoes died. Like that's the only way I can put it.
All right. Next up we got T-Tar. I kind of feel so like T-Tar is another one of those tough decisions we're gonna have to make between coin flip and possible carry because sometimes people are bad with him, but like his scaling is ridiculous. And his ult and pit is crazy. The fact that he could defend pads even against green shields is crazy. I kind of just want to put him in possible carry above like Machamp, honestly. Like he just scales so ridiculous.
So what I'm gonna say for me is I think he's a coin flip, and kind of for the reason you said, right, which is like, yeah, he can go through shields, which means you've lost.
Right,
So if you're losing and he's just making you lose a little bit less, it's not helping. He has to hit level 9, which in solo queue is redonkulous.
right,
If he's laning, you're Sag. If he's bad, he's not doing anything. I've seen him ult and die in pit because everybody goes, oh, it's T-Tar, and they just stun him and kill him. Like, he has a really, really high reward, but I feel like he also has to have a really high gameplay knowledge. So I want him in coin flip because you need to know where to be, when to be there, how to maximize and level up efficiently so that you're not flipping the first Rayquaza at level 6.5.
do we want to put him at number 2 in coin flip behind Delphox?
No, I don't think he's that good, honestly. I think I might even put him. No, he's better than Sword, but I also move Venusaur up maybe a little bit more. That's kind of where I'd put it. I'd put him there. I'd put him behind Delphox, I think.
Yeah, I think this is it. All right, so next up is Mew.
Ooh, Mew, how the mighty have fallen. Uh, I think it's a solid they won't throw now. That's kind of where I'm at because like it's not busted. If you
Right.
still have a Mew one trick join your game, they'll do some snazzy things, but they're not gonna carry anymore. They're not gonna like win the game. You know what I mean? Like the ult isn't super impactful except for in like actual coordinated team strikes. Like it's
Right.
a team mon. It's not really a solo queue mon, but they're not
Right.
gonna throw. They're gonna do some things. So I'd put them in. They won't throw for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, part of me wanted to put this in possible carry because I still think a good Mew is amazing, but I feel like Mew needs space to operate, and I feel like it only really gets that space in 5 stacks. I think in solo queue, it just doesn't like the parameters of the game are just different. When you're in a 5 stack, I think Mew is probably still S tier, legit. But like
Yes.
solo queue, I think I'm right there with you. I think it's in they won't throw. I'm willing to put it like third, maybe. or maybe even above Snorlax, and put it second to Ninetales and They Won't Throw, because it's still a busted mon, but like
Yeah, it's
solo queue
really
doesn't
busted,
help
but
it.
like it's one of the mons that gets maximized with team coordination, and we're in solo queue, so that's not happening.
Right. Okay, all right. So next up is Dodrio. I think Dodrio goes right straight into They Will Carry. I think this thing is busted in solo queue. You literally run around the map, you jungle invade, you score, you get your own jungle, you do literally whatever the hell you want to do. Tri attack is still busting. Drill peck is alright. The mobility is insane. The ults could literally fly across the map if your team is inting. Like, I think this thing is actually like They Will Carry pretty high. Maybe like
Okay, so
third or second. That's my opinion. I think it's
I'd put
nuts.
him if I'm gonna meet you there, I have to meet you at third. Because yeah, he does really, really great things, but also in team fights at the end of the game, sometimes he's just too squish. Like
Mm,
like in the situations where your team gets blasted, he can't do anything by himself. All he can do is backcap. However, his backcap is crazy. I've won a game off of us winning a fight and then him just backcapping a bunch.
right,
So I'm willing to say they'll carry because like I've never been upset
right,
that there's a dodge reel in my game. Like I wanted to play jungle yesterday like 4 times, and all 4 games I loaded into a dodge reel and I was like, all right, it's your jungle, buddy. Like I let him have it, so I have to put him
right,
possible or they will. Like he is still very very strong, but he's also squishy, so sometimes he loses you the game. It kind of just
right.
depends.
All right, so
Yeah.
next up, then I agree. Yeah, I mean, I think he's just I think really highly of him in solo queue. I think he's really great. All right, next up is Scizor, who is also Scyther. So this is an interesting one. What do you think?
All right, so Scyther right now is good as an assassin mon, but he's only good coordinated still. He's not really a solo queue carry mon. And Scissor, if you're running the right emblems, you're running the right build, he won't die. However, he won't win the game either. Scissor is for killing people. Or, I'm sorry, Scyther is for killing people. Scissor is for like being annoying. So I put him in They Won't Throw,
Okay.
probably above Mew because he just doesn't die. But like he's not gonna like 1v5 more often than not. Sometimes they will, but very rarely. He's more of a I don't die type of champ, and Scyther is more of a man, my teammate was in the right
Yeah.
position type of champ. So
So with your scissors synopsis, I agree completely. I think I'm just valuing Scyther a little bit higher right now. It feels like Scyther's actually one of the best Pokemon
he's very
in the
good.
game with its recent buff. So I kind
Yeah.
of lean towards possible carry, and the possible being if they click Scyther and they're a beast, they're gonna win you the game. And if they pick Scissor, well, at least they're not throwing.
Yeah,
I
but
think
like the only experience I feel like you and I had with Scyther so far is Lakoding. So like
no,
like one
yeah,
of the
well,
best
that
players.
helps, but
You know what I
also
mean?
just
Like
like
yeah,
I don't know, I feel like it does a lot. Like even just when I see it,
it can. I'm
uh,
just worried about him getting dived in my
yeah,
solo queue game.
because like
That's my main issue.
like
But I
if
could
the
see
idea
possible
of
carry.
Machamp being up there is his ult could get like 5 kills or whatever, or 3 kills. Like Scyther's ult is the
Scyther could
same.
do that too, yeah. Scyther could kill some people. So I could put him up there. I put him above Machamp, I guess. You talked me into it.
Yeah, I just think
Above or
above
below, yeah.
Machamp. Yeah, because like there's also Scizor players that are really good at Scizor. It's not often,
Right,
but
yeah, yeah. I
like
think
I
Scyther
just
is a possible carry. Scissors or they won't throw. That's the way I would do it.
yeah, yeah. I think it falls safely right around there. All right, next
Yeah.
excuse me. Next up, we have Clefable. So I would have donkey shit on this Pokemon a couple weeks ago, but they buffed Follow Me and Draining Kiss recently, and I actually finally played against it 2 days ago, and it was actually quite annoying when he would follow me into me. Like I just couldn't move for like a decent amount of time, and the healing really is increased. So I think because they buff Follow Me, it's actually playable in solo queue, but I still don't think it's like good, but it's
Right.
still a support Pokemon and it helps. So I maybe want to put it like above Hoopa in They Won't Throw.
So I think that's exactly where I was gonna put him because the buffs helped. Like a couple people in chat are actually saying it's not really a solo Kumon,
Yeah.
and I think it's either Zug or Indy that was like the problem. I could be wrong, could have been somebody else, but they were like the problem with Clefable is the ult, where like every other
Yeah.
supporter in the game has an ult that guaranteed does the thing you want it to do, and like Clefable sometimes you ult into block. So
Yep.
like they're not gonna throw for sure, but they're
Yeah.
definitely not gonna like influence.
Right.
any meaningful 5v5 outcomes, kind of. So I'm kind of okay with them there.
All right, chat. Here we go. Last three. We got Zoro, or whatever the hell.
Zoroark. All right, so Zoroark used to be the Giga Chad jungler because the level 5 is absolutely crackeronied. It's still really good. I've slapped Drain Crown on this thing, and I actually did a CDR like emblem set. It's pretty good. However, it's very squishy. So I'm kind of torn between like it's a possible carry, but it's also a coin flip.
Right.
Because like sometimes it'll carry games and it'll like 1v5 people with its combos, but then other times people are like Night Slash or not Night Slash, Faint, the one that's like not the good one.
Right.
And then it's like, brother, and then it dies. So like I'm kind of coin flip. I'm never upset to see it, but I'm not in my mind
Yeah.
guaranteed thinking that it's gonna carry the game kind of.
Yeah, I think there's definitely games where it's really bad. The fact that it doesn't have full heal, and sometimes people click it and they're kind of just inty, like it brings an inty type of personality sometimes, I feel like. So I'm down
Yeah,
with coin
yeah.
flip. I'm just torn on like because it does have a high ceiling. I don't think it's
It does,
better than
yeah.
Delphox. Might be better than T-Tar though.
I think it's better than T-Tar probably because it comes online at level 5, so it's harder for you to be useless for the majority of the game, you know?
Yeah.
Because like I kill people, I've killed 2 to 3 people on their pad with him off of combo as soon as I hit 5. They could even be level 5. It doesn't matter.
Right.
God is not saving them. Like
All right,
it's going
so
down.
next up is Sableye. This is probably going to be our last highly rated mod. I'm torn between
Looking
possible
at you,
carry
Urshifu.
and they will carry. So like in solo queue especially, this thing just kind of has agency to do whatever it wants. Its ult is really impactful. It can steal Rayquaza in the right hands. But also, I've seen some Sableye players that literally run around and do nothing, and it's actually super
Yes.
annoying. But it's not that many of them. I mean, I think it's really strong. Maybe it's at the very bottom of they will carry.
I kind of agree with possible carry maybe behind Gardevoir because like it doesn't have the damage it used to where it could like actually kill mons or keep UCC chained like before the nerf.
Right.
Now it needs somebody to help it. So it's like it's a possible carry. It's almost like a better and or worse version of Greedent than Greedent. That's like the best way I could put it right now. But instead of distracting people, it just runs away.
That's fair. I like that. Yeah, so top of possible carry, or do we want it under Gengar and Guardy?
Under Gengar and Guardy, because Gengar and Guardy like will actually carry the game. Sableye just influences the game in a way that lets other people carry at this point. Like it's not gonna, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because even if you steal Ray, if it's a 5v at Ray, they just go score anyway. It's not like,
Yeah, true.
and he was gonna backcap even if he didn't have the Rayquaza shield. Doesn't make a difference.
All right, and last on the list to wrap up our video of solo queue teammates, Pokemon, and how we feel about them when we see them as teammates on our solo queue teams. We have Urshifu.
I really, really want this Pokemon to be good, and everybody keeps telling me that Single Strike is good, and I don't see it. I've tried it. I've seen other people play it. It's not good. It's just not, guys. I'm sorry. Rapid Strike is okay. Does some healing. You could do some team fighting. Just play Scissor. So, like, Single Strike is okay. It's reverse Lucario pup, which is bad. Like, the mobility move isn't the pup, which is bad. The
Yep.
ult combo is fantastic. Uppercutting them into a punch is great, but he's just not good enough. He's just not. I'm not at a my god why level because I know he'll at least be a solid inclusion to any team fight. But he's just not like he's not the best all rounder. Like Azumarill is better. I mean, like Scissor is kind of better at certain things. I don't know. I just don't feel it. He's just a very okay Pokemon right now. He's not busted. He kind of
Yeah.
feels fair. He feels like okay. That's where I'm at.
I personally like I'm borderline intentional throwing. I think it's awful. I think his lane is the worst lane in the game. So until
Oh,
level
absolutely.
5, he's the worst Pokemon in the entire game. And then you get to level 5 and he becomes the most medium Pokemon in the entire game.
Yeah, like
I
I can't get over the fact that like Throat Chop is the mobility move, and then you literally have to stand there in front of them with a punch, and they just walk away from you. Like at least with Lucario, you charge the pup in a bush and you jump out at them
Yeah.
from like 10 feet away into the close combat up front. He's the opposite, and it's rough. It's rough.
Yeah. And like he's so susceptible to CC. Like whenever I play, like if I'm playing A9 or Guardy or Mano and I see this thing, I'm just thinking food. But I'm
Yeah, yeah.
extremely biased. Like I really don't like it, but I'm probably a little too biased. I don't know. Maybe at
See,
the
like I feel like
I don't
I'm
know.
biased because people keep telling me he's really good, But every time I play against him, I kill him. And every time
Right.
I
He
play
just
him, he
dies.
doesn't do enough. He just doesn't.
Yeah, and
He's
whenever
not
he's my
good enough.
teammate, he always has 30k damage whenever it's on my team. Like, I just have
Yeah,
a
like
really bad experience with this mod. I
he
think
has
it's
to be
like,
in a team.
I don't know,
In
man.
a team, he's fantastic, right? Like in a 5 stack, he's fantastic because you can jungle with him. You can take the second jungle rotation. You can get to 5. Your pup secures everything. Like his Wicked Strike secures every objective. It's amazing. You can't be CC'd. Like in a team, he's great. I can see that.
Yeah.
But in solo queue, he's not it because no one supports you the way he needs to be supported. And if
Yeah.
you want to play a bush gank character, just play Scyther or play somebody
Yeah.
else. Don't. He's just not good enough.
Yeah.
Like he's just
I
not.
think he's throwing, but I guess I'm willing to maybe go to coin flip depending how you feel, or the top of my god
Now
why. Or...
he's definitely not coin flip because like I've never seen one and then he like popped off and won the game. Like the coin flip on him is oh my god we lost to like oh he did something that was cool.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I did that by mistake. I'm
Unfortunate.
gonna move it. Where do you want it?
Um. I'm almost with intentional. He's not intentional throw though. I think it's a my god why. He's like on the higher end of my god why. He's definitely better than Buzzwole.
Yeah.
He's probably better than Espeon too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys, so that's going to wrap it up here. I'm about to end the recording. I want to thank you guys for watching and tell you guys to subscribe over on our YouTube channel and follow me over on twitch.tv/BrawlerJohn. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed the list. Once again, to be perfectly clear, this is not a tier list of what Pokemon we think are exclusively the best. It's
Right.
what Pokemon we think make for the best solo queue teammates. If you load up
However-
into solo queue and you see some teammates, these are the Pokemon you want to see. Thank you guys. I hope everybody enjoys. And yeah, thank you for hanging
Yeah. I
out.
will. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.